So to describe this, I want to offer to you that there are three fundamentally different types of business models. And the first one I'm going to call an empowering innovation. And empowering innovations allows us to make products that are complicated, and therefore they're only available to the rich. And an empowering innovation makes it affordable and accessible so that more people have access to it. And the way I'd like to describe this in a simple way is that you can describe almost every history in this simple construct, that there are there are concentric circles. And so for this purpose, this middle circle represents the customers in the market who have the most money. And then these larger circles represents larger populations of people who have less money. And then when you come out to the periphery here, this includes almost all people. Almost every industry at the beginning began at the center because the first products were so complicated and expensive that only people with a lot of money had access to it. Now, in the history of computing, what that original product was a mainframe computer. And if those of you who have a lot of gray hair might remember that these mainframe computers filled a whole room. They cost around $2 million US. Their gross margins were about $1,200,000. And because they were so complicated and very expensive, only the largest universities and the largest corporations could have one. But if you'll remember, the personal computer made it so much more affordable and accessible that instead of $2 million, this cost $2,000. And the gross margin per machine was $700 instead of $1.2 million. But by making it so affordable and accessible, a whole new population of people had access to it. Now, the way this always happens is these empowering innovations, when they make it affordable and accessible, at the beginning they're not very good. They just do the simplest of things. But then in this new range where they sold their products to new customers, the technology gets better and better and better, so that one by one, the problems that previously could only be addressed here now can be addressed here. And so ultimately, these people aren't needed anymore because this gets good enough. And then in computing, the next one is the smartphone. And rather than cost thousands of dollars, it costs hundreds of dollars. And the gross margin is a tenth of what it used to be. But by making it affordable and accessible, a whole new population of people have access to computing. And in a similar way as with the personal computer, these smartphones at the beginning are not very good. But oh my gosh, the technology gets better and better and better. And so that you can solve on the smartphone things that a generation ago required a personal computer. And little by little, we don't need the laptop nearly as much because the smartphone makes it possible.